Welcome to Maple and Mango Show. This is Rafael, your host, and today's episode is going to be about goals setting. Goal settings is one of the secret traits of the wealthy, the people that have achieved greatness not just in money but in many areas of their lives. If you're an athlete and you want to compete in the Olympics, maybe you have goals, right? That's not a maybe. That is a sure thing. And today, why today? Because it's the beginning of the year right now, and I believe that too many of us do not know the power of setting goals and then reading them, setting them and then reading them. So, when you create a goal, there are many things that you need to take in mind. This comes from experience. I have failed so many goals so many times, but I have achieved a bunch of them. And those ones that I have achieved, I will attribute all of it to having set goals and having something to follow. So the first thing is I need to know is why you're doing it. Simon Sinek says if you start with a why in mind, you are more likely to find the how to achieve it. So when it comes to setting goals, you need to know why it is that you are doing something. If you heard part of my story, I my previous career, I used to be a cook for way too long, and I wanted to leave that environment, and because I wanted to become a full-time dad and spend time with my boys. And I can tell you that it was difficult. It was very difficult, especially I had to go to school, I had to take some courses and things like that. And that was on top of what my life was bringing already. Was on top of everything, mortgage, family members, and life as a whole. We know life can be very busy. So it is very easy to make excuses and give up along the way and say, hey, I cannot achieve it because of this. I cannot achieve it because I am too busy. I cannot achieve it. And the very thing that you said that you're gonna do this for become the excuse. So that is if we don't have clarity. For me, it became very difficult because I had to study late night. There was one time I do remember I had to pass an exam, and I have to pass an exam by the next day. And I remember one night at 1 in the morning, I did one exam, kind of like a test exam. It wasn't a real exam, like a mock exam, and I failed it. And I remember going to the kitchen, pouring a pot of coffee, putting it on, and then just studying through the night. And the next day, go to work at 6 in the morning. That's what I had to do because I wanted it bad enough. And I can tell you, that's a really good story for another day. If I haven't done that, I would not be talking to you today because that was a catalyst. Another thing happens when you do that extra work, by the way, is that you start thinking that you deserve. You start thinking that you deserve to win. So when it comes to that, start with a why in mind. What is it that you want? Okay. So and let's say it is a fitness goal. I don't know, perhaps you're overweight, perhaps you're 240, 250 pounds, and you're aging, faster than you want to, your joints are hurting, or even worse, perhaps, there is actually diabetes in your life and stuff like that. And then you really have to lose that weight. So start with it in mind, thinking, I'm going to lose the weight because I am going to feel good about myself, the way I'm going to look. I'm going to lose weight because I'm going to feel good, full of energy. I am going to lose that weight because I will be healthy. And then if you want to make it even deeper, you can attribute it because I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I want to be there for them, or else I will not make it. So gotta make it emotional somehow. So start with a why in mind. So the first thing is, number one, what is it that you want to accomplish? Let's say if you're talking again fitness, because that's a simple thing to measure. Say, well, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, you want to lose 20 pounds. So you need to have that. Have to clarity what it is. 20 pounds is the goal. We know what the why is, right? Number two reason is you need to think when it is that you want to achieve this by. Is it by the end of the year? So it has to be on a specific date. If we don't have a goal that is measurable, I can tell you that we don't get it. Think about the reason why businesses have balance sheets. Think about, there are sometimes reports, quarterly reports, in all those things. Is because even though things seems to be going smooth in the business, if we don't look at the numbers, we don't know how we're doing, really, right? So measurable. So you need to be able to know that. Number one is, you need to start with the why in mind, why it is that you want to achieve this, right? Number two thing is you gotta think of what it is specifically that you want to get. The next thing is when. So it's gotta be specific. When is the date that you want to achieve this by? And then the last thing is the how. Notice how the how was the last thing I put in here, because that is in order of importance. Because if you want something bad enough, you will find a way. If you want something bad enough, you will find a way. But keep that in mind. Another way that I heard some people describe this, they describe this as setting SMART goals. SMART is an acronym and it means specific, and it's got to be measurable, it's got to be attainable, it's got to be relevant, and also time bound. It's those things. So now you have your goals set up. Your goals are set up. What now? I'm going to put in the drawer, and then I'm going to pick it up next year in December, at the end of next year, right? That's what most of those do. Because the most important aspect of the goals, and you probably haven't heard this before, is reading your goals daily. The best performance, they read it morning and they read it at nighttime. For me, it's a struggle. I really have to think about it. Something that works for me, sometimes I write it in a piece of paper and I put it by the bathroom. So when I'm brushing my teeth, I can read them and I remind myself of what it is that I'm fighting for, what it is I'm trying to achieve. And it's interesting how the brain works. We always find a way to accomplish what is important in our mind. So if you start with that in mind, your goals become the distraction to the world's distractions. I'm going to repeat it. Your goal becomes the distraction to the world's distractions. What that means is usually everything is taking our attention away from the one thing that we're trying to accomplish, right? But if our goal is so important to us and is so present to us, this will distract us from everything else that is going around us, right? So writing goals down is step one. We all know that there is a bit an action component of this and how you're going to accomplish. Okay, so let's say we're talking about, again, losing the weight, those 20 pounds. So the first thing you need to know, okay, so I need to lose 20 pounds. So just about a pound every 2 weeks. So all of a sudden, does not seem that far-fetched. It doesn't seem that unattainable. And when you reverse engineer something like this, it makes it more tangible. Whatever that is, it could be debt, trying to pay the debt. It could be trying to grow your business, trying to grow your following, whatever that is. There's got to be something that you can control. And in a fitness journey, let's say, it could be, okay, I have to work out X times a week. I have to eat X type of food, X type of calories. I'm going to be eating X type of exercise that's going to burn more cardio, and so on and so on. So you are the expert. You do the research in whatever it is that you're trying to do. So, but that is a very component that must be part of it. That's a very important component that has to be part of it. So, and one thing that I'm going to say, remember that the goals that you're setting, they should encompass your whole life. The first one is, you should think about finance. Okay, so if you think of finance can go along with businesses as well. If you have a business, usually the business provides the lifestyle and all of that, right? So there's got to be finance. Setting goals is extremely important because you have to have finance. Now, the next thing is there is some a fitness component in it. We're talking about physical fitness, right? PT. Next one is you got to have some spiritual or faith oriented. If we don't get out our own way and it's all about us and we don't embrace God or the universe or whatever you believe in, it's very easy to get too full of ourselves and get full of anxiety at some point. So we need to have that part with us. We need to connect to the source, whatever the source is for you. We need to have a goal to work on that as well. Your prayer and those things. So, and the another one is family goals, family and relationships, because that's some friends that are like family as well. So there is gonna be some time that should be allocated to those things. They say that you should have one also for fun as well. But the thing is, for me, I have fun in everything that I just described. I have fun with my family. I have fun with my friends. I have fun with my business. I have fun with everything that I do, basically. So I have fun along the way. So you don't need to do something because you can actually overlap in these things, right? Like you can go for a jog or the bike ride with your kids. So that's kind of like family time and exercising at the same time, right? Like you can you can have I have a business, and I do travel a lot with them, and there is a business portion of that, but it's also a fun portion of that, right? So there is you can overlap on these goals. There is a very important thing to keep in mind that to sprinkle in all these areas. All right, so this is the first official episode of the show Maple and Mango. Like I mentioned at the beginning, bear with the technology. We're trying to figure it out. But my point here is that I want to bring value to you. I want to share some of my life experiences, and I hope that you learn from my mistakes, perhaps some of the wins, and I can tell you that if I can do it, you can do it. If I can overcome challenges, you can overcome it. And strength only comes from overcoming challenges. Let's go.